everybody on the set? I am live tweeting and putting up an IG story right now to let everyone know, get their butts over here to the set. It's about to go down. It's about to go down, people. It's about to be a great show. A lot to talk about. That's every week, but no, seriously. Trade deadline is literally around the corner tomorrow. Trade deadline is here, my good people. We have to talk about so much. Let me let everyone know. Get their butts here now. Like on the way in, people. You know the drill. Like at the door, please and thank you. All right, my good people. Live now. Tweet is out. Boom. What's happening? What's really good? Let's get this thing rolling, man. Shout out to all my subscribers here at the set. Shout out to the members and our steadily growing, increasingly growing membership club. Those at the quick set, tapping into the mindset here at the set. I did just see that comment from the dive bar talking about 20 push-ups. If you guys were on the live show Thursday, we had a bet on who would score first between the Dolphins and the Ravens. Me and Joe had to do push-ups for Bobby and Ghost because the Dolphins scored first Thursday. I did my push-ups. I sent the video to Joe. So, Bobby, leave me alone. It's done. I pay my debts. I'm not a Lannister, but I pay my debts. All right. Listen, week 9 review. Trade deadline is here. So many different topics, subjects. Big news over the weekend after Thursday night loss. The Miami Dolphins suffered against the Baltimore Ravens. We had news down in South Florida. The mutually agreed departure of general manager Chris Grier from being the Miami Dolphins GM. And I want to spend a little time here. I did not give him an immediate reaction. That's not really me anyway. I like to think and process. And I can't say that I'm surprised or shocked at the news. I put up the emojis that I did, is like the mind blown emojis. Not more so shocked or surprised, but more so just like shocked that something happened. I didn't know if it would be any move made right now, midway through the season. Just being down in Miami, being around Chris, being around Mike, being around Stephen Ross, I didn't think any move would be made during the season. Do I agree with the move? That's not really why I'm here and my thoughts that I'm going to share. What I will share about Chris Grier is, first and foremost, I appreciate him. Won't get anything outside of that from me. I appreciate Chris for not only being one of the reasons, being one of the influences to get me down to Miami when I was a free agent. In 2022, I was the number 1 free agent in the NFL. I had several teams, and I decided to go down to Miami. Chris was one of those reasons. I appreciate him helping to get that done, to get that deal done, get me down there. In my 3 years in Miami, being a Dolphin, it was amazing. My time there, that experience, the franchise organization, it was a beautiful place to work. Great place to go in and work to get better every day. We won some games. We lost some ugly ones. But it was a part of my story and my journey that I'll never forget. And I appreciate Chris. And thank you, Chris Grier, for that and more. What I would say about Chris Grier as a GM, I played in the league for 12 years. Every year I played, I missed games, but I've never missed a season. Every year that I played, I had one goal in mind. It's the Super Bowl. It's to compete for a championship. That was the goal in mind. What I would say about Chris Grier, when I got to Miami, he did every move with that in mind. He went full blown investment to try to bring a championship to Miami. I signed that day in 2022. We signed Tyreek Hill, traded for Tyreek Hill the same day. Brought in Bradley Chubb, brought in Jalen Ramsey, brought in Jonnu Smith, brought in Alec Ingold, brought in Raheem Mostert, brought in, all these moves that were made were in pursuit of a championship. He did so, full investment, and I appreciate that. He went all hands on deck, and ultimately we didn't get the job done. We failed as a team, as a collective. We failed. We did not get the job done. And result of that, when you go big deals, big names, and you don't get the job done, it's an explosive blow up. Most times, it's an explosive blow up. We've seen the Rams when they acquired all these big names and free agent acquisitions and trades. They got Ndamukong Suh, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, all these guys they brought in, Matt Stafford. They got a championship. A year after, it's an explosive blow up. Teams that have that longevity, the consistency, those are teams that are built in the draft. Not really big contracts, big deals. Not many of them. Not many explosive free agent signings. Those teams that has the long lasting time spent being one of those top competing teams, they're built more from the draft. Chris went all hands on deck. He went all hands on deck. I appreciate him for that, because that's the only reason I played, was in pursuit of a championship. So Miami had to, it was getting to a point, something had to be done. It's been a long, tough road as a Dolphins fan that I have heard and learned a lot about throughout my tenure in Miami. And I get it. I understand the frustrations. Chris gets it. He understands the frustrations. And it's not, I promise you guys, you fans are loud. Your voice is heard throughout NFL buildings and locker rooms. They are. They are. And with that being said, in the NFL, this is a production-based business. So regardless of intention, plan, strategy, at the end of the day, in the league, it's results-based. That's all it is. It's all about results. So Chris Grier and his departure from Miami after his tenure as a GM, it's over. I'm saluting him with gratitude and love for what he did in my life and down in Miami, the intention of bringing a championship to the city, bringing winning to the city. That was the goal. It was not a GM that wanted to be at the bottom or stay at the bottom. No, that was not the case at all. Had some very unfortunate events, injuries, other mishaps and situations. But with that being said, Chris Grier time in Miami is over. Salute to you, Chris, in your future endeavors. All right, my good people. Let's jump into this Week 9 review. I had to start off with that. I had to start off with the Dolphins and talking Chris Grier. Is only right. I didn't give an immediate reaction. I'm never quick to do that, but did want to speak on that situation for sure. All right, week 9 review. Ton of exciting games, man, around the league. A few teams starting to really show and flex their muscles. Um, and a few other teams that continue to be inconsistent, up and down. I don't really know the way that this season is panning out, man. It's been the most like anybody can win, anybody can lose on any given Sunday type of year. There's no real separation of teams yet. It's a few teams that's out of it already. There's a few teams that we know will be in the playoffs, but it's all, man, the vast majority of the league sitting right there in the middle. We can go either way. The Green Bay Packers lose to the Carolina Panthers in the 16-13 game at home in Lambeau. The Panthers have strung together some really nice wins. They took a loss last week, but they have strung together some really nice wins, and they're doing it on the ground. Very effective in the run game. The Packers are such a head scratch, bro. Such is so mind-boggling to me why the Packers struggle so much. I look at their offensive line, really nice across the board. Look at the defensive line, fire across the board, one of the best in the league. Quarterback play, running back is consistently top 5 in the NFL every single year. Josh Jacobs. They got the weapons on the outside. They got the weapons on the back end in the defense. It's a mystery to me why the Packers have yet to find that level of consistency that make us really feel strongly about them moving forward. But the Panthers, they're rolling. Rico is toting that rock, man, very efficiently. He's on pace for 1,500, 1,600 yards. He is balling. He's running the ball at a extreme rate. Seriously. I know that they pay Chuba Hubbard, but I mean, how can you go away from the hot hand? Seriously, how can you go away from the hot hand? Rico he's balling and is equating to wins. J.J. McCarthy, his return to the Minnesota Vikings, he hasn't lit up the stat sheet. That's one thing about J.J. He has yet to throw for, I believe they said 160 yards. He's yet to throw for 160 yards. They beat the Detroit Lions Sunday. That's saying something. That is saying something. JJ had 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. They beat the Detroit Lions yesterday, and the Detroit Lions I see as being one of those Final Four teams. Potentially, one of those Final Four teams. I even went so far to say that the Lions were my way too early Super Bowl favorite to start the season. They just a very, very well put together team. They got experience now. It's time for the Detroit Lions. So the way that the Minnesota Vikings went out and handled business, that was real. That's a real win. Another thing about J.J. McCarthy, he's not lighting up the stat sheet, but he has that dog in him. I know you guys seen that killer instinct that he had in his eyes once he got the game ball. I know you saw it. So with JJ and his, excuse me there. The thing about the Vikings and Brian Flores is he's going to create problems. He's going to create issues that they will get their hands on the ball. So JJ McCarthy will continue to have more opportunities to get the ball to Jettis. Jordan Addison. He just got Aaron Jones back too. The Vikings got a chance. Vikings got a chance to start making a push and starting to look like, I don't know, one of those teams. Because if you look at the Vikings from last year and what they did in that magical season, Sam Darnold's resurgence, and all the games that they won, Sam Darnold is in Seattle. Sam Darnold is also entering the MVP conversation. Let's not overshadow that. Let's not forget about that. Sam Darnold is entering the MVP discussion. He is playing that well. So you look at Minnesota, all these weeks so far this season, and you see Sam Darnold in Seattle, you had no choice. If you're a Vikings fan, you had no choice but to wonder and to have a sense of regret. Damn, did we make the right decision? Did we let the wrong guy go? Because the way that Sam Darnold's playing in Seattle, the way that offense and defense are performing, all these weeks leading up into yesterday, it was, did we let the right guy go? And that win for the Minnesota Vikings yesterday answered a lot. It answered a lot of questions. It saved a lot of thoughts and regret. Seriously, it did. Getting that win against a fired Detroit Lions team. They're fired. They are. They've had some tough losses this year. Kansas City, now Minnesota, week 1 against Green Bay. That's a fired team. That Detroit Lions team, I feel very strongly there will be one of those teams left when this season starts to come towards an end. Dan Campbell, shout out my dog Dan, my coach. I feel very strongly about them guys. They'll be ready. But that Vikings win, that was huge for JJ McCarthy's confidence and everything for him moving forward. That was a huge win. Another guy, as far as resurgence, is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones he's been lighting it up all year. The Colts have been sitting at the top of the NFL. They were at 7-1. Yesterday was different. Yesterday was different. 5 turnovers for the Colts offense. We have not seen that this year. We have not seen them turn the ball over. We haven't seen their offense stagnant. We haven't seen Jonathan Taylor be contained the way that he was against the Steelers defense Sunday. Does it change the narrative or change the feel for the Colts? Not at all. Not at all. It's NFL. It's NFL. Any given Sunday, it's a real thing. Steelers are a good team. Steelers needed that win yesterday. Pittsburgh Steelers needed that win yesterday. I would even go so far to say Colts versus Steelers yesterday was a must-win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will go that far. I will go that far to say yesterday was a must-win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because you have Lamar Jackson back in Baltimore. They have had their struggles, the Steelers, even in the games that they won. Most of them have been ugly, some ugly wins. So the Colts on a 7-1 rampage, they're running through the league. Pittsburgh Steelers needed that game yesterday, and it's monumental for them moving forward. Mike Tomlin, I'm sure he had those guys ready. That defense, they have not shown to be the Steelers defense that we've historically known under Mike Tomlin or even before Mike Tomlin. They have not shown that. Yesterday, 5 turnovers against essentially the number 1 offense in the NFL. That was a statement. That was a statement to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. That was a statement to the AFC. That was a statement as a defense. Too much talent on that Pittsburgh Steelers defense for them to allow the points that they have allowed this year. That loss to the Bengals hurt. This win, this is recovery. That's a beautiful win by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, it doesn't change anything for the Colts. Now we get to see their response. They get their first piece of adversity this year. They get their first piece of adversity that Daniel Jones, he gets to hear the negative narratives again. Oh, he's a turnover machine. He can't do this. He can't win the big game. Perfect. Now he gets his chance. He gets his op to respond. And I'm counting on him to do so. I feel strongly that what Daniel Jones have shown this year, what they have in Indy, with that O-line, with Jonathan Taylor, with all his weapons on the outside, I feel very strongly that they will respond in a way that is also a statement. All right, my good people. I have my dog, my brother Nick Underhill. He's joining the set right now. The New Orleans Saints took a butt whooping to the LA Rams yesterday in a 34-10 victory by the LA Rams. Matt Stafford was insane, lights out. The Rams dominated the ball, dominated time of possession yesterday. But we did have a first start from the rookie Tyler Shugg. I want to talk to Nick as the face of New Orleans media, everything New Orleans Saints at NOF. Nick, what's going on, my guy? How we doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Week 9 was a lot. There's a lot going on, bro. A lot going on. Some
It
games
was
came
not.
down to the wire, some blowouts. It was a lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of Rams going on for the Saints. Not a lot of Saints going on this week. It was the 13th lowest time of possession in NFL history. 16 minutes. I
No
mean,
way.
you yeah, you said Tyler Shuck played. I mean, I guess I feel like I didn't even see him play a football game. I mean, it was just kind of like it was just watching Stafford. It was watching them run all over the Saints, and it was just kind of in and out, in and out. I think I think this game is kind of a good test for like your view on life because I think there's like three plays that could make you feel really good about Tyler Shuck and three plays that could make you feel really bad about him, and then like everything else was kind of neutral. And I think whichever way you lean is probably if you're a negative person, you probably feel negatively about it. If you're a positive person, you probably say, hey, there's a few things here that can develop. I think my takeaway just from like a neutral position is that I think he's a more aggressive intermediate type passer. We kind of saw that last week, saw the same thing this week. I think that there's a more willingness to take risks, which I think is probably needed to maybe try to push the ceiling up a little bit on this offense. But then, on the negative side of it, I think there were a couple of plays where he panicked. That's kind of been the issue with him going back to college. But I think overall, I kind of walk away from it slightly encouraged, eager to see more. Very difficult matchup. Didn't have a lot of support. No run game going. No defense going. I mean, it's kind of hard to get a real evaluation. But I think I saw why they picked them 40th in this game, and second round picks are all long shots. So that's obviously part of it. Like 30% of those guys over the last 10, I think three have made it. One of them was Derek Carr. So the odds are definitely against them. I think, if you're placing a bet, you're shorting it. But, I saw some stuff here that I'm encouraged to see more. And look, worst come to worst, they get to the end of the season, they find out he ain't it, and they draft someone in the draft with a top 2, 3 picks. So like, I don't know, like the downsides here are obvious, but I mean, if it doesn't work out, there's a lottery ticket at the end of it, and maybe that one hits.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Man, when I went back to watch the film, I seen like they only had 36 plays. The offense had like 36, 37 plays. I didn't I'm like, man, what is going on? And I watched it and I see why a lot of three and out. They had the one interception at the end of the game, but the Rams offense just dominated the ball. Matt Stafford was
Yep.
he was lights out and the run game was efficient as well. I did, to your point though, Nick, I did see some throws from Tyler Shuck that gets you excited. I seen him
Yep.
hit Rashid Shaheed a couple times on some nice outbreaking throws, and Chris Olave as well. He threw a nice one to Juwan Johnson, who ended up getting in for the touchdown. So I did see some things that get you excited, but also he had some negatives. He had some negative plays.
No doubt.
Um, Kellen Moore moved him a lot in the pocket. It wasn't much traditional drop back at all. Maybe 5, 6 traditional drop backs. Everything else was moving the pocket, which that helps a young quarterback. But it's also hard to evaluate because you can't really do that on a weekly basis. Um, but without a run game, bro, it's really
Yeah.
unfair. It's like really not even. It's really not fair to evaluate the quarterback and how he's able to play. Like their run game is non-existent. What is going on?
It's been crazy. It's kind of been like that all year. And I think some of it comes down to design. AK for his career, he's a great outside zone runner. He's always been a great outside zone runner, and he's been okay on inside zone. I think for his career, it's like 4.9 yards per carry outside zone, 3.7 inside zone. This year, like the disparity is like 5 yards outside zone, 2.9 inside zone. Like and all the runs are inside zone. Like they've ran outside zone like 24 times this season, and that's just like that's not what he does. That's not what he's good at. And ever since Kendrick Miller went down, like they're kind of running between the tackles again, and it's not working right now. And I think the design of it just hasn't been great. And it's all from shotgun, it's all from pistol. Like it's not under center, outside zone, which has kind of been the bread and butter for him for the last 4 or 5 years. And I don't think it's coming together right now. The fumbles have been an issue for the team too. AK had one this week that killed
Yeah,
a drive in that third quarter. And that's uncharacteristic for him. Like no one's killing him for that, but it was just another one in the last few weeks. It's been a thing with the team. But I don't think they've done a great job of putting it together. And then like just not calling it too is the other piece of it. Like
for
they
sure.
have been pressing like crazy to get an early lead in these games, and Kellen Moore keeps talking about it. They're taking the ball first now, going 3 and out to start every game. Like they're pressing to get some offense going early in these games, and like it's not working. And then they get behind the 8 ball, and it just kind of feels a little bit directionless at times to start these games. And I think that's part of it too. It's just kind of their offense feels like it's kind of going backwards a little bit. And I think as they struggle to
Yeah,
find an identity, you just kind of see like everything and maybe a little bit of panic setting into the coaching staff. Like they're 1-8. It just feels like maybe they're feeling it a little bit too. And I think everything just needs to kind of calm down. Back half of the schedule, like there's some winnable games. Panthers are playing well, but they're next. It's an easier game than the Rams. They got the Jets, they got the Titans, they got Miami. Like
oh yeah, they got it.
that,
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
okay. We'll get a chance to see.
There's
We'll
some
get a
there's
chance
no
to see and evaluate.
Yeah, they might not win these games, but I think you might at least have a better chance of maybe seeing like what the quarterback can do. Because man, like Fuaga's hurt now though too, so that might be a setback.
Yeah,
But
so
like, yeah, like the Rams are just bringing this pressure, man, and it was like there was no time either. Like Burst is winning off the edge every time. Byron Young's winning off the other edge every time. Like they were sending blitz right at Penning, like some delayed stuff, and he struggled with that. Like they just had a great plan, and it just felt like if the Saints were shooting themselves in the foot, like the Rams were doing it for them, and it was just man, that was one of the more helpless games I've seen in a while, though. I mean, 16 minutes, that kind of speaks for itself.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I mean, the Rams they're fire, bro. I think it's more
Yeah,
about the Rams and less about the Saints and that one. But the Rams are fire. They are one of the most complete teams in the league. One of the best head coaches in the league. They are proven to be Super Bowl champions with Matt Stafford and company. So they are fire. They are top five. You know what I mean? The Saints with the schedule that they have coming up, we'll get a chance to really evaluate Tyler Shug and the offense and those guys moving forward. Nick, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for jumping on the set, bro. Every week. Thank you, bro, for real.
yeah. I'll catch you next week, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, later.
All right, Nick Underhill, my good people. I gotta tap in with my Saints, man. Saints Dolphins have to. I have to. Got to see what's going on. Saints they're struggling, man. They made the move to Tyler Shuck, taking out Spencer Rattler, and Tyler had his first go this week against the Rams. The Rams are that's man. Listen, that's a long day for anybody. Seriously, it's a long day for anybody. The way that they rush the passer, those young boys up front are relentless and aggressive. They are sure about who they are and the style of football they want to play. Rams are one of the best teams in the league. Top five team, man. They are constructed really well. So that's a tough challenge. The Saints got the Panthers coming up. Panthers, Titans, Dolphins. So they got a chance to really get some games and see what they got from Tyler Shug and a lot of those other pieces on offense. I want to talk about another squad that has me wondering, are they for real? Is this team the real thing? Is this team truly going to win the division and enter the playoffs with a top four seed? And that's the New England Patriots, people. That is the New England Patriots. Are the Patriots for real? Hmm. We are here. Are the Patriots back? They have they have been impressive. They beat the Falcons on a 24-23 game Sunday. Falcons head coach Raheem Morris calls out the Patriots for shady tactics and game-altering play that happened Sunday. I want to check that out and show you guys what Raheem Morris had. See if my producers can pull this up. Just a second, people. Patriots are not new to shady tactics. But let's see what Raheem Morris had to say.
From the New England 48-yard line, Penix. And I don't think he was ready for that snap. It seemed to surprise him, and now a flag comes out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly happened there. But let's hear Raheem Morris' comments. Just a second, my good people. Pulling up Raheem Morris' comments on the Patriots' shady tactic and game-altering play. Yeah.
They did a nice job. They simulated a snap. The ball came early. It was snapped early. Within that snap, that was when we got the intentional grounding. Nice job by those guys. Great situation of football. Great play. They were clapping, simulated our snap, got us to snap the ball, and that's why the ball was snapped early on Mike when he wasn't ready for the snap. They.
Okay. Yeah. That's always been something that's super hard to monitor or police. Teams trying to simulate the snap. It's harder when you're on the road. So if you're going silent cadence, it's hard for a team to kind of simulate a silent cadence, so to clap. But I've had over the years guys try to act like the quarterback and not say it too loud to where the ref can hear him, but enough for us on the O line to hear him. It sucks, but it's really, really hard to police that for sure. But yeah, the Patriots they're rolling, man. They're rolling. They sit in the top of the AFC East. Buffalo is starting to look like themselves again after a big win against the Chiefs. Buffalo looks like they have the Chiefs number. I don't know, man. Buffalo looks like they have the Chiefs figured out. And it's always a back and forth game, but that one yesterday, Buffalo was in control the entire game. They just have a really good sense of the Chiefs and what they're trying to do. And, man, making timely stops. They make it difficult for Mahomes to get in any type of rhythm. He was able to create some plays, more so scrambling and backdoor football than really hit guys in the timing of the play. Buffalo's starting to look like themselves again, and that's a scary sight. But New England, they already up on Buffalo. They won the first matchup in Buffalo. So the next time the Bills got to travel to New England to see if they could take back the AFC East. That'll be a great one to pay attention to. And I don't want to say it, man, but I think the Patriots are for real. I think they are for real. They're well coached, man. Mike Vrabel, he does a great job. He has his quarterback, Stephon Diggs, coming back from injury. He looks like himself again. They are really doing things the right way at a high level. It's interesting to see them turn it around so fast. They've had their down years since Tom Brady left, but they went through Mac Jones, and now with Drake May, they seem to have found it. They seem to have found their guy, and they are playing well, man. That Patriots versus Bills, I got to look at the schedule, see when we're getting that one, but that's the matchup to pay attention to, and Buffalo will be ready for that. They have owned the AFC East. I'm sorry to say, sorry to my Dolphins people in here watching this set, but they have owned the AFC East throughout my time in Miami. And the Patriots sitting in that spot right now. Buffalo will be looking to get that back in the weeks leading up. I want to talk Monday Night Football before I get into the trade deadline, because trade deadline coming up. Jalen Phillips traded to Philadelphia Eagles. I have a lot of thoughts on that. And also, I'm going to put on my GM hat and give you guys trades that I think would shake up the league or complete a few teams. I will share that. But before I do, we have Monday Night Football matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm here in Dallas, live in Dallas. The Cowboys fans are crazy. They're insane. They love their team like none other. And the Cowboys are looking to bounce back from a BTA session that the Broncos put on them last week. So, with Arizona and all their dysfunction, the Cowboys should look like a team with winning aspirations, with their stuff in order, trying to get their offense back rolling the way that they have been. The Cowboys offense had been lighting up. Dak Prescott, even though they haven't been winning a ton of games, he was offensive player of the year caliber performances, weekly basis. Last week was a different story against the Broncos. The Broncos really stifled that offense and held those guys in check. But outside of that game, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb being back, George Pickens, those guys, Javonte Williams, those guys are really lighting up the scoreboard on a weekly basis. Arizona's defense have been playing really well throughout the season. Even though they haven't been winning much, offensive struggles have really, really, really hindered this team. The defense is put together well. They play fast. Budda Baker's one of my favorite players in the league. He flies around. He plays like a man with his hair on fire. And that offense, though, has really struggled. Even so much, Marvin Harrison Sr., the father of Marvin Harrison Jr., who's the receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, he was asked about Arizona's offense, and he said, "It's very hard for me to watch the Cardinals." And you can quote me on that. That's tough, man. When you got a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever, and his son is on the team. So he's biased to the team. He wants to see them succeed. He wants to see his son succeed, and he doesn't want to bring negative press to his son and his situation. But when it's so frustrating that he still make a statement and go so far to say, and you can quote me on that, my dog is fed up. Marvin Harrison is fed up. Like, seriously. And I can understand it, man. They have no identity over there. I know they lost James Conner, and that takes away a huge part of their offense and what they want to do. But it's the NFL, man. The injuries happen. You got to have your bread and butter plays, or you got to find an identity offensively and defensively, something that you hang your hat on. The Cardinals just they don't have that. And now Kyler Murray has been benched for Jacoby Brissett, but he's still available. We'll see if he's inserted back into the lineup at some point. But this Cardinals offense is really, it's not much going on, man. Is the scheme, the design is plain, it's stagnant, no explosive plays. They have weapons if you look at the names, but it's been really tough sledding. They have a really hard time putting up points. This Monday night game, Cowboys should handle business. They should handle business. Even though their defense hasn't been playing great, the Broncos put up 44 points. But this is not the same type team. The Cowboys should handle this game easily. If I had to give a prediction for this game, I think 31-10, Dallas Cowboys tonight. I think Cowboys really feel good about themselves after this game. We'll see. You know, the Cardinals defense is good. The Cowboys offense is fired. They're stacked. They're loaded with weapons. So we'll see. But tonight, for Monday Night Football, I got the Dallas Cowboys 31-10 against the Arizona Cardinals. That should win me some points here in Dallas. Win me some good nods when I'm at the grocery store out here in Dallas. All right. Let's get to this trade talk. It's always a very interesting and exciting time of year. Trades can literally make a team. It can literally complete a team. It can be the push that gets a team that's on the cusp over the hump and to the big dance. We have seen huge trades happen throughout the year. Some teams are more accustomed to these type trades. The Rams, the Eagles. The Eagles have done it again. The Philadelphia Eagles have done it again. They traded for my dog, Miami Dolphins, Jalen Phillips. I saw this trade hit the news, and my immediate reaction and my thought around this trade with Jalen Phillips going to the Philadelphia Eagles, everybody wins here. T.Stead, what you mean? Everybody wins. Everybody wins here, and I'll tell you why. The Philadelphia Eagles win because they are the defending Super Bowl champions who won the Super Bowl dominating the O and D line, their pass rush. They're still winning. They got a winning environment. They have enough to feel good moving forward. But they don't feel great. They don't feel great that they have enough guys that can go win one-on-one matchups and get the job done in January and maybe even February. So those guys are not just on the street. Those guys are hard to find. You have to pay some form of compensation to get a guy that can win one-on-ones consistently. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they fill a void with the departure of Josh Sweat. He's down in Arizona. They bring in a guy with an incredible skill set. JP, speed, power, athleticism. He's getting healthier as the year goes. The more he's able to get out there and he's getting healthier, his body's getting calloused. He's been really close on some sacks, but he hasn't been able to finish the deal. All that will start to improve with more reps. That's just what it is, with more reps. So Philadelphia, they fill a void on their front. That's a win for them. They have shown to do this throughout the years, and that has worked really well for them. The Dolphins win in a different way. You lose a guy, you lose a uber talented player who's still young, but he's on an expiring contract. So you have to make a decision. Do I pay top dollar for a guy that I strongly believe in? His potential, his ceiling is way up there, all that. Do I pay him with foresight? Do I have futuristic thought to pay Jalen Phillips for what he can become and what he is striving to be? Can he stay healthy? Can he do all these things? Or can I get a form of compensation, let some of these younger guys get those reps, get those moments, get that experience, see what you really have for a guy that you're going to lose at the end of the year anyway? So if you trade him now, you lose him for 9 games and you get a draft pick, or you play the rest of the season and you can't afford him, you lose him for nothing. So the Dolphins win in that aspect. Jalen Phillips win. JP wins because for a lot of reasons. He loves Miami. He loves being a Dolphin. He went to the University of Miami. He is Miami. All of that aside, he now goes into from being 2-6 or 2-7 to being 7-2 with a chance to compete and Super Bowl dreams, championship aspirations. He's familiar with the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, So Vic is familiar with his strengths and what he's able to do and what he likes to do. JP wins. It's nothing like winning in the NFL. Nothing like it. The Mondays, Victory Monday, nothing like it. It's a weekly holiday, Victory Monday. It's nothing like it. So he goes from going through this hard time that they have in Miami. They're struggling. They're trying to find their light. They're trying to get the direction. They're trying to move forward. And he's immediately inserted into a place that is, boom, we are the defending Super Bowl champs. It's a win for JP. Shout out to JP. Shout out to all parties involved. I think it is a win-win-win situation for everyone, for sure. Now, I'm going to put on my GM hat. Okay? I'm going to put on my GM hat. I have some players that, if traded to certain teams, certain moves were made, these teams are in the Super Bowl discussions. So T.Stead, the GM, with a bow tie, I'm going to let you know how I see it and what I see for these teams moving forward. The deadline is here. So if any of these break from Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Jordan Schultz, any of these trades come across, you send them right here to the set so I can send them an invoice because I had it first. All right, so we know Jalen Phillips went to Philly. Jair Alexander, he was traded. Michael Carter, the corner, he was traded to the Eagles. Odafe Owe was traded to the Chargers a few weeks ago. He has 4 sacks in 4 weeks. Like, moves like that really solidify a team. Like, it really builds out the team. And we've seen it historically. So the moves that I think will shake up the NFL. First, Myles Garrett to the Colts. Can the Indianapolis Colts put together a package that would send Myles Garrett to the Colts? You include Anthony Richardson. You include first-round picks, second-round picks, whatever you got to do. But think about it, people. Myles Garrett to the Indianapolis Colts. Come on now. That's immediately Super Bowl dreams. Super Bowl dreams. No question about it. No question about it. There's a chance. There's a chance there. You have your quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He's on his rookie deal. You have Daniel Jones. He's on modest money. He was paid as a backup. So you stole your starter. He's on backup. He's on a backup contract. You're not really paying top dollar too many other places. DeForest Buckner, yeah. Quentin Nelson, yeah. Jonathan Taylor, yeah. Can the Colts, with this quarterback situation where you're not paying the QB position all that much, can they find a way to package up, get Myles Garrett? Would be insane. Next, Jeffrey Simmons to the New England Patriots. Listen, people, I'm not a fan of it. As a Dolphin, I'm not a fan of it. But Jeff Simmons to the New England Patriots instantly solidifies the Patriots. Instantly. He's a game wrecker. Mike Vrabel is his guy. I know Jeff personally. Me and Jeff Simmons, we train together here in Dallas every offseason. I know how he feels about Mike Vrabel, loves him. That move, that marriage would send waves through the AFC. Seriously. What they already have in New England, the other pieces that would be around Jeff, that offense giving them a lead. Jeff Simmons to the New England Patriots. I'm just saying. Another one. I got a couple Saints guys that I can see being on the move. So to my Saints viewers, to my Saints subscribers and members, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to blow up the team or anything like that. I just got my GM hat on. Alontae Taylor to the Denver Broncos. Alontae Taylor to the Denver Broncos. He is a corner in New Orleans, but he's also like a Swiss Army knife. Alontae Taylor has had 4 or 5 sacks the last couple years, each year. He plays the slot. He plays outside. He gives that Broncos defense more versatility, more movement for Patrick Surtain when he get back, and Riley Moss. He's an incredible blitzer. So he's another weapon for Vance Joseph. He's physical. He flies around the field. Alontae Taylor to the Denver Broncos. That move would create something else in Denver, which they already fired, the defensive fire. I love that move. Lastly, stay with me, people. Again, New Orleans. I'm not trying to blow the team up. I'm just talking through what my GM had. But this move would probably be my favorite one if they were to get this done. And that's Demario Davis to the LA Rams. Hey. Demario Davis to the LA Rams would be crazy. His experience, his knowledge, what he brings, his production. He's a multi-time All-Pro, smart, one of the smartest players ever been around, one of the best leaders. He's added to the middle of that young defense. Look out. Scary hours. Really. Demario Davis to the LA Rams would be, man, that would be crazy. Crazy. That's already a feared defense. People already know when you play the Rams, you gotta have your chin strap buckled on the right way. It's gonna be physical, all that. Putting that 56 in the middle, that adds another layer of just intimidation, aggression, physicality, violence. Talk to me, chat. Who could you see? Who could you see being a move? Hey, okay, Miller Hendricks. Miller, I like that one. Miller Hendricks just brought up Bradley Chubb to the Dallas Cowboys. I like it. I like that one. I like that one. The Cowboys are desperately looking for more pass rush. They have some guys that have been playing well and starting to emerge, but Bradley Chubb he's a proven veteran rusher. Hell of a player, great teammate, one of the best teammates I've ever had. That would be a move for the Cowboys that would be fire. It would shake up some things. They would feel different about what they have in Dallas if they were to add a Bradley Chubb to that team. That is a fire one for sure. Miller Hendricks, shout out to you. What else you got? Let me know. Chat, talk to me. Put on your GM hat. Let me know before we get out of here. We're getting close to wrapping up the show, wrapping up the set. What we got, man? Talk to me. Brad Lean, who's your number one player moving? Honestly, Brad, I don't think Myles Garrett's going anywhere. But Myles to the Colts will be fired. I don't think Jeff Simmons is going anywhere. Jeff Simmons to the Patriots will be fired. Number one player that I see moving. That's a good question, man. I'm gonna tell you who it won't be. I feel strongly about this. Jalen Waddle's not moving. Jalen Waddle is not moving because you have a 26-year-old receiver, over 1,000 yards every time he touches the field, every season. So you trade a 26-year-old Jalen Waddle for a first-round pick in hopes to draft Jalen Waddle. Like you want to draft this guy, this production, this player. It just doesn't make sense. You have him under contract until 2028. It just in a favorable contract. We see what these receivers are getting paid, so he's under a favorable contract till 2028. You don't see. I don't see Jalen Waddle being moved at all. I do not see that. So I can tell you who I feel strongly that it will not be Waddle moving. Johnny Clyde, Alvin Kamara to the Chiefs. Fire. As much as I think that would be insane, as much as I think that would be insane for Patrick Mahomes to have Alvin Kamara as a weapon, it's not happening. It's not happening. AK isn't going anywhere. He said it out his own mouth when he was talking to Nick Underhill. He said if Mickey Loomis was to try to come trade him, he would go somewhere and just drink a pina colada. He will retire. So I think every team heard that. Every team knows that. And I know Alvin very, very well. He's dead ass. He's so serious. Like legit. That would be it. That would be it. Come on, guys. Tell me a move. Give me one more move before we get out of here. Be the GM. I gave you my top four. But I want to know what you guys think. All right, you see, Lewis says people keep talking about Breece Hall to the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are in the market for a running back. I think the Chiefs feel really good about their offense and what they have, the weapons that they have. Isaiah Pacheco, he was injured last game, but he'll be back. Kareem Hunt's playing really well. Brashard Smith too. Like they got to find ways to get him more touches. But with Rashee Rice back and Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, like they have weapons on offense. So I don't really see them making a move on that at the running back spot for the Chiefs. I just don't see that. Ease, you tripping, bro. Jamar Chase to the Rams? Like, what? No. Why? No. Got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. No. I'm not doing that. What you talking about? Ease? What's going on there, bro? All right, my good people, listen. I appreciate you all for joining here on the set. Man, it had a lot to unpack from this past weekend. Again, shout out to Chris Grier. Let me give him his flowers. Salute to you, Chris, for your time, your tenure in Miami. To be a GM for 10 years, that says a lot, man. I don't care where you are. You know what I mean? To have that sense of longevity and do what you felt was right and necessary to bring a championship to Miami. We didn't get the job done. Ultimately, we did not get the job done, and brings us to where we are today. But salute to you for your intentions. You didn't waste anybody's time. You brought in free agents and pieces to try to formulate a championship team. It did not work. This is a results-based business, production-based business, and that is the result. So, but salute to Chris. Jalen Phillips moving on to Philly. And I know he's super excited. I haven't reached out to him yet, but I will, to give him my love and congratulations for sure. Again, Jalen Waddle's not moving. If any of those four moves that I brought up, if they hit the net, send them my way so I can send my invoice over. Let them know that I had it first. They got to show me the love for sure. Shout out to all my subscribers. Shout out to all my members. You guys let's keep going. Let's keep building. It's the set is growing, man. We got our first big sponsorship offer. So negotiating that right now to try to bring just more to the set. And we're going to continue to grow organically. Like we're going to talk clean ball. We're going to show love. We're going to criticize all of it. So let's keep stacking. I greatly appreciate you guys for joining the set and being part of this. I love when you're active in the chat. Let's continue to talk. my voice, your voice. Let's continue to talk. Please. Shout out to my members. All right. I'm out of here, guys. Monday Night Football. Cowboys about to smack the Cardinals. All right. Peace out.